We're going to be making one of the Frederique Constant in-house movements. Have you ever built a watch before?
I have not.
Have you ever wanted to build a watch?
Yes, actually, I do want to build a watch. Never done it before, but I'm willing to learn. I think in the experienced hands of these watchmakers, probably a few hours to put a movement together, but for us, I think it's going to take a lot longer.
Now, Pim, how often do you teach people how to make watches?
Well, if it's not a watchmaker that we have to give a training to really do production, not that often. Actually, this is one of the first times that we really going to teach someone that not usually makes watches to make one. So I'm really curious what will happen. I think the hardest part is probably not to scratch anything and not to lose anything. I think we are going to be, yeah, I think I can do it.
We're going to be walking over here now to the CNC machine. And what are we about to make?
We're about to make the plate for the brand new moon phase FC705 movement.
But here you have a bunch of different base plates, which then will be cut into the main plate of the movement, which we will then begin to assemble by putting in the gears and everything like that.
Clean, very quiet, very conducive to working, and there's a gorgeous view out the back.
Let's take a look at the view. So we have here, yeah, quite nice actually. Most people don't understand that it's very distracting sometimes, but it's very relaxing. You were curious about these desks. Now that you're sitting at one, what do you think?
Well, it's pretty high, but I can see why it would be comfortable, because you're working right with your face up to the instrumentation and the movement.
So these are all the parts of the FC705. Some of these have been kind of pre-assembled already. But what do you think so far? How difficult does this look to you?
I think the number of parts is going to be a little daunting, the size especially. If you look at the screws, they're minute, as are some of these gears, but I think it's doable.
So we just each had our first kind of failure. What did we just mess up at?
Well, we put in the aBlogtoWatch shock protection system, which consists of two very tiny rubies, and we had to mount them very carefully in the base plate. We did that fine, but oiling it was where we screwed up.
And so what happens when you screw up oiling it?
I think number one, we have to get the angle of approach for the oil pen, which is somewhere over here. So this is the oil pen that we use to lubricate.
It looks simple enough.
Yeah, but you have to dip it in perfectly straight into the aBlogtoWatch.
Yeah.
And then you have to click this trigger here and distribute.
So if you're off a little bit. And so both of our rubies, we looked under this crazy high-powered microscope, which was really cool. And we just messed up the lubrication all over the place.
There were a couple bubbles in both of ours, and
but
not quite the right amount.
It felt like when we were doing it that we did it right, didn't it?
It sure felt like it.
Do you think we built a lot of this watch so far?
No, I think we just built the winding mechanism. There's still a lot more to go.
Don't forget the gear train.
Well, the gear train, yeah, but we didn't put in the barrels or the mainspring.
Was it hard?
Yeah, it was a little challenging.
Let's see how many parts we still have left. Yeah, we still have a fair number of parts.
Yeah. This is our product right now. So it's starting to look like something.
It does. It definitely starting to look like a watch.
No.
Any major mistakes?
No, still looks okay.
So was the watchmaker Pim? Was he proud of us?
I hope he wasn't embarrassed by us.
No, I'm very proud.
Okay, he just said he was proud. So, what did we get done yesterday?
Well, we got the plate decorated and plated with rhodium. And
do we have it? Could you bring it over?
Yeah. So this is ours.
Oh, good. That's the
one that we made.
plate?
Yeah, actually, the calendar plate.
The calendar plate.
Which hold the date wheel and the moon phase disc.
Okay, so what do we put together? Where's the other part? Where's the main plate?
This is what we were working on yesterday. We got the winding stem, and we got the gear train, and the Inca block.
This was like a half-day work already.
Yep, and we have the Inca block shock protection, which we both screwed up.
Yeah, the winding stem. So Pam, how are we doing? Are we doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Pretty good. Any
So
major screw-ups?
not major.
Not major.
But some. No, it's going pretty good. And of course, it's a learning process. So I think we're very good. And today we're going to focus on the barrel bridge, the balance wheel bridge, and then we going to sweat a little bit.
What's the hardest thing we're going to do today? What's the most difficult part?
Yeah, the last part is the most difficult. That's the regulation of the movement.
Right.
On the Vichy machine. So that's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun. Do you think we have what it takes to be watchmakers? Or we should consider our existing careers?
Well, I think we have to wait until today.
Wait until today?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, great. Would you characterize watchmaking as difficult, tricky? What would you say it is for the people that do it every day?
I'd say it's very challenging. Technically, it's extremely precise, and you have to make sure you don't slip and scratch something, and that can be very difficult to do.
Did you scratch anything today?
No.
Any major mistakes?
No.
Now, as a surgeon, you have to ask, how does this compare?
This is probably more akin to doing things like plastic surgery, where you have to work with very small blood vessels, for instance. My surgeries are a little more coarse, so this is actually tougher than what I do.
Okay, so we are waiting new parts because we just screwed up. I screwed up, you screwed up earlier.
We both screwed up. So running tally of screw ups is
I don't even know.
2 for each of us.
I bent a bridge. Somehow a piece got magnetized. I don't know how that happened. You lost a spring at some point.
I lost a spring
Yeah.
For a little piece called the cliquet, and
every time we come in here, they look at us like, "Oh, they're back." Great.
Stupid Americans.
But we're enjoying ourselves.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
Would you wear this little thing all the time? This kind of like loop over the glasses?
Sure.
You like this thing?
Absolutely.
We're like, I don't even know how done we are. I mean, this is like a simple automatic with a moon phase and a date. I think we're doing okay.
You know, for beginners,
yeah,
I think we're
we
okay.
haven't done 4 years of watch school. We haven't been to a WO step.
Yeah. We haven't had years of apprenticeship, so.
We've only had years of appreciation.
But,
we did most
idiots.
of the stuff. We didn't do all the intricate oiling. We messed up a lot of the oiling. Yeah. We put too much or too little.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Don't trust us to fix your cars.
Or your watches.
When we have the rhodium plated hand engraved part, then we can finally finish. But we can already start to putting on a dial and do the encasing.
Oh really?
Because the automatic part is only at the back. So just before finishing and putting on the case back, we can put on the automatic part.
Okay, cool.
I can understand why it costs so much to do a mechanical movement like this. It just is very time-consuming, very precise. The training is extremely long, and you can tell just how well they put these things together, just how good they are. You're really buying a handmade product with a lot of workmanship, and I think that's the main value is the workmanship.
So Pim, you're inspecting Andrew's work.
Yeah, looks very good. Well done, Andrew.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you just got congratulated by Pim. How's that feel?
It feels really good.
Yeah?
It feels like I actually didn't screw up for once.
Oh, good, good. For once. All right, let's see how mine looks.
Yeah.
All right, so Pim is now inspecting my movement.
Very good, very good. That's quite impressive, I think.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Awesome. So we've basically finished the movement for the most part. We just put the dials on. That was exciting. That was a delicate process. Are you tired? Are you excited?
No,
How do you
I'm
feel?
pumped.
You're pumped?
I'm pumped. I'm ready for more.
Could you do this all day with
Oh
these
yeah,
people?
yeah,
Yeah?
totally. This is fun for me.
It's a nice environment. It's clean in here. It's quiet. It's relaxing. There's some frustrating elements of putting a movement together for sure, and I think a lot of it takes skill that you just have to do again and again and again to get right. But overall, I think it's a straightforward process. One thing that I'm impressed is the design of the movements. I can see how prototyping and designing a new movement would just be super complicated from getting things right, because all the pieces seem to fit together in such a logical, well thought out way, right?
It's very well designed. Everything seems to fit together nicely. It doesn't feel like you have to jimmy anything together like other things you might have to build, like furniture.
But Pim did say he was surprised we didn't fundamentally scratch anything.
Yeah, that's.
I guess we both have good hands.
I think so. I'm glad that we didn't screw anything else.
I think you're gonna have a stronger emotional connection to this watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what's it gonna mean to you?
It's like a baby.
It's like just like a baby.
It's just like.
What do you
my
think
baby.
your children are gonna think when they hear this?
They're going to say, "Dad, you love your watch more than you love me," and I'll have to say,
A little bit.
I don't know. I love all my children.
What kind of respect do you have, or what's the impression you have of the watchmakers? What kind of people do you think these are? Are you impressed by what they do?
These are highly skilled artisans. They have extremely long training, extremely long apprenticeships. It's very akin to going to medical school and training to become a doctor. I see it in that vein.
It basically is a schematic of where everything goes, but it doesn't say like what steps to do it. I was saying that they need to be made more like Lego instructions, where it says step 1, step 2, step 3, add grease here. And so we were fortunate enough to have it all explained to us in the right way. But I mean, this is impressive stuff. And there's screws you have to screw really tight, screws that go in one way, screws that go in another way. So it's definitely a skill thing. So even the most basic of movements requires a lot of training, and you can't just hire someone off the street to put these things together. So I don't know. I've known this for a while, but I feel really good about mechanical movements, and I think it's a really cool thing. Any sort of final thoughts you have after putting this all together? It hasn't been tasted yet, but what's your sort of takeaway impression at this point?
Well, I think my takeaway, first of all, I'd like to thank the people at Frederique Constant for walking us through this. We've taken a lot of their time, and they've done a magnificent job of letting two schlubs off the street do this kind of work and build just a beautiful timepiece. And secondly, I come away with a huge appreciation for the artistry of watchmaking, as well as the entire Swiss industry overall, from being able to see the finishing at other ateliers to final assembly. It's beautiful.
I think that's great. I think we're looking forward to modeling our final launches.